Gold believers are suffering. The gold price remains strong, but gold stocks have been very, very weak. I'm Biko Konstantinos, and today I want to have a look at the gold chart to see if a potential inverted head and shoulders pattern could be the thing that gives a kick to the gold price as well as gold stocks. If you enjoy my content, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Let's get into the charts and see what's going on. Here we have the gold chart in US dollars. So we're going to start off looking from this double bottom around about 1700 US. As you recall, there was that initial spike to 1900. And then since then, the gold price has been relatively weaker. But as you can see, today I'm going to be considering a potential inverted head and shoulders pattern, which could be signaling higher gold prices. So as you can see on this chart, we've got a potential left shoulder ahead when we saw that spike down to that previous support level around about that 1700 or just below. And then we've got, since then, we rallied back up to that 1830 price around about 1835. And now this resistance has been hit multiple times. So for gold believers, pretty stressful because they just want to see a breakthrough. But so far this resistance is held, and so far this support down here at the 1700 mark is held. So we're in a bit of a sideways trading pattern, but there's going to be a breakout one way or another eventually. Could trade sideways for a bit, but there will eventually be a breakout. Now with an inverted head and shoulders, we want to draw a neckline. So a neckline can be either straight or it can be on an angle. So it doesn't really matter because what happens is the shoulder just has to be in the vicinity of the other shoulder. And what the pattern's suggesting is that we had a push down and then a bit of a rally, but then a stronger push down, like a capitulation. And this then becomes a bit of a end of selling because support came in strongly. Then the market tried to rally, but get pushed down again. And what would happen if there was an inverted head and shoulders, then the sellers would run out of steam as buyers would come back in. And so what would happen is the neckline would provide support and become that right shoulder. It could be here in it could be in an angled neckline, and that creates support and it jumps from here, or could drop down anywhere in the vicinity of the left shoulder. And if sellers get absorbed by fresh buyers, the price doesn't rally to that previous support zone. So it doesn't go all the way back down. It stays in the vicinity of the shoulder and it sees fresh buying. And as you can see here, it might come back to that resistance level, could stay around there for a bit. And hopefully for gold believers, we'll push through that, and that resistance level 1835 or roundabouts becomes a new support. So this here, if this occurs, that can definitely become a new support level for a new move upwards in the gold price. Now, if we do get to see this inverted head and shoulders pattern confirmed, and it would be confirmed by breaking out of this resistance zone, then we'd have several resistance areas in the gold price to look out for. So the first one is that 1900 level. So as you can see here, that level after the double bottom saw a great deal of selling, and it was a sharp sell down. So that'll be a resistance point. We've also got a resistance in the mid 1900s, and then another one at 2000, which is a very significant psychological level, and a level that pretty much all gold believers would like to see taken out in the near future. Now, it's always good to look at the big picture, and by doing that, we should look at the weekly chart or even the monthly chart to give us that high level perspective. So the weekly chart here shows us that in general, the gold price is very high. So as you can see, this previous high that we had around about that 2011, 2012 period, a decade ago, we're actually trading right around that level. So really close to this 1800 level where the price remained in those years for a couple of years before trading downwards. In my previous video, I talked about a cup and handle pattern. And because this pattern is playing out on the long-term charts, it could be very potentially powerful if it gets completed. But just looking at this long-term chart, you can see that really the price is strong. It doesn't show any signs of capitulation, and it actually, to me, looks more like there was a spike. In the long term, it's like a shallow retracement, and it looks like, I don't know, I mean, nobody knows, but this shallow retracement could take a little while because it's playing out over the long term, but it could be the spring because it's trading close to this previous high. It could be a bit of a spring and it just takes off from there. That previous high then becomes the support zone and then moves on to higher levels. Fundamentally, there seems very little love for gold and gold stocks at the moment. There's a lot of hype around cryptos. There's the stock market in general, which is extremely high and has been rallying, although the last week or two has shown signs of a potential downwards trend or a potential fall. So it seems to me, just looking at gold price and gold stocks, that investors or the big money aren't really believing that the gold price is going to rally at this stage, so that they've been selling down gold stocks, because gold stocks have been comparatively weak compared to the gold price. In one of my recent videos, I discussed that and whether it's creating a potential great buying signal for gold stocks. But yeah, there seems to be this, I guess, fear or belief that gold price isn't going to do well, so why should we be investing in gold stocks now? A lot of gold believers can look at so many different factors that should be, or they believe should be, supporting the gold price. Safe haven really hasn't come into play. Previously, throughout the years, that's the biggest factor that I would hear in regards to owning gold, being like a safe haven play. But with the stock market going so great, you know, everyone, all the stimulus, employment across the globe going quite well, there doesn't seem to be that worry or that fear and that need maybe in investors' minds to have that safe haven in gold. So fundamentally, it looks like there's a million, or there's a stack of signs that should be supporting gold price and we should be seeing higher prices, but who knows? Anything can happen, and we just got to look at the price charts to give us the best picture to see what's really going on. Looking at the HUI chart, which tracks the top unhedged gold producers, we can see that from COVID, so this was when COVID started, the price is trading about that same level as the pre-COVID price for the HUI. So gold stocks have come down a long way since they hit 360 on the HUI. So they've come down, that's a big percentage, down to about 240, which they are now. But it'll be interesting to see, hopefully for gold believers, this level here, that was a previous resistance level and has been a bit of a support level. As you can see, the price has come down a few times. Hopefully for gold believers, this level will create the support. So it'll bring in some buying, and hopefully this support level won't be breached or won't be breached successfully. So even if it comes down, we would hope to see a quick retracement above and then that level becomes continuing support. So really, what would we really like to see? So in the gold price, when we considered the inverted head and shoulders, we want that pattern to play out. So if that plays out and then it breaks above that resistance level, we would really want to see that combined with a strong HUI move, because that would give us confidence that there is an actual uptrend returning to the gold price. If it's just the gold price and the HUI stays lower, then it loses that bit of confidence, because investors aren't betting on a continued higher gold price, because if they were, they'd be buying up gold producers. Because if the gold price goes up strongly, those producers are going to make a stack more profit. They'll grow. And so in anyone's mind, that will be a great chance to be able to buy gold stocks, because there'll be future growth. Thanks so much for watching my video. I truly appreciate it.